Judge has issued a ruling in the Menendez trial. He has issued 50 years to life. That means the brothers could be eligible for parole at some point, but they will not be released as of now. We, of course, have been following this case for many years, from initially when they first were charged with killing their parents, and then in recent years, as they seem to have a prosecutor who was somewhat in their favor, saying that they had done their time, that they should be released. There were multiple documentaries and series that played out, a lot of popularity, in particular on Netflix, a lot of interest over the decades about these two brothers and the relationship that they had with their parents, ultimately causing them to kill their parents in their home in Los Angeles. We are going to go to Matt Gutman now, who's been following this case from the very beginning. Matt, quite a development here.
An incredible development, Lindsay, especially given the headwinds that the brothers and their attorney, Mark Garagos, and the team has faced over the past 6 months from newly elected DA Nathan Hochman, who basically from the start said he would consider this case. He had inherited it from George Gascon, his predecessor, who had recommended that resentencing, which you just mentioned, 50 years to life. Gascon didn't say back then they should be out now. He said they should get out. They should be given a chance to parole. And that's what the judge found today. But I just want to give you a sense of what we just saw in court. There are no cameras in court. It's pad and paper only, so we can't even send emails to people. So we're watching this. We're sitting in court, and the pace is starting to pick up this afternoon. And it became evident about a couple of hours ago that they might be able to finish the proceedings today. It was supposed to be a 2-day hearing. And it wasn't clear if Mark Garagos, the defense attorney, would put Lyle and Erik Menendez on the stand, have them read a statement to the court, and he only did that after the judge agreed to resentence them. And so there was this big commotion in court as we were about to hear their statements, and they read statements for about 15 minutes each. Incredibly powerful, essentially admitting, Lindsay, every lie, taking full responsibility for the murder, saying that were unjustified, that they robbed their parents of their lives, that they feel permanent shame, that nothing is going to heal the wounds that they inflicted on, obviously, their parents, but also their family members and on themselves. And the repercussions of that are life-lasting. So they did exactly what DA Nathan Hochman has been asking for throughout, which is admitting to all of the things, to lying about being on the stand afterwards and concocting stories. And everything, the entire litany of what DA Nathan Hochman had asked them to do, they essentially did on the stand. And many of their family members were weeping. You could hear the sniffling in court. It was a very, very dramatic moment. The lawyers from both sides and the judge sat there rapt as they watched that video feed of those two men reading these statements for the first time. And it's really the first time we've heard them in court since their conviction in 1996. So it was a pretty momentous moment in the history of this extremely long case. I'm going to preempt the question you're going to ask next. What does this mean, 50 years to life? It means they get a chance to go before a parole board. But before they do that, they will have a hearing for clemency, which will they will also appear at the parole board on June 13th, and then the governor, Gavin Newsom, at some point has the choice of what to do here. Now, the discretion of what happens to the Menendez brothers largely, Lindsay, rests with Governor Newsom. But pretty extraordinary couple of hours that we just witnessed in court. I wish everybody at home could have seen that, and that there were cameras in court. Alas, there were not.
Yeah, we appreciate you being our eyes and ears, and you are, in fact, a mind reader, because that is what I was going to ask you, is what happens next. We know that you're going to be following all along with us, as you have been on this case. Matt Gutman for us just outside of the courtroom. Thank you so much, Matt.